This is the story of my magical journey riding old trains across Bulgaria, meeting incredible strangers, and exploring old communist monuments scattered across the country.
Burgas, time, Karnova.
Okay. Okay. Bulgaria. I am making my way to Varna today. We'll be taking a train out of here in 4 hours, so just a little bit of a wait. I'm gonna go find a restaurant, do some writing, get a cappuccino. From films like the Darjeeling Limited to our beloved Hogwarts Express, train travel has had my heart for decades. And here I was in Bulgaria, ready for my very own rail-hopping journey. Okay, I'm boarding my first train in Burgas to Varna, so it's about a 3-hour ride. Actually wasn't too hard to find. I thought I was going to be running all over the place, looking for the route, looking for the station, but it was super easy. This is the very, very beginning of my train wanderings through Bulgaria. To me, there is nothing more romantic than traveling by train. The lullaby of the tracks, the wandering through each compartment, magical strangers, and even more peculiar tales. Okay, just boarded the second train, changed over in Karnobat. Oops, there's people sleeping in there. Next up is Varna. Well, kind of, in like 3.5 hours. These are my friends here. Hey, Nikolai. This is Nikolai. And Maria. Haha, Uno! Yeah, let's go. My new Bulgarian friends told me many things, but most intriguingly about the legendary clairvoyant Baba Vanga. A blind and semi-literate village girl, she became a prophet that leaders of the USSR would seek out for counsel. She predicted Stalin's death, the breakdown of the Soviet Union, September 11th. Boom! I win again! Oh. 2 in a row! Nice. Even that America's 44th president would be black, and the 45th would be some messianic personality.
For me, thank you. Yeah. Very kind. Take as much as you want. Bye guys. Bye-bye. Bye.
She predicted the deaths of celebrities and politicians until her own in 1996. The day after, NASA's Galileo probe discovered water on one of Jupiter's moons. My Airbnb is a bit out of the central part of Varna. Yeah, just a bit, just a little bit. This Airbnb was $20 plus 13 for cleaning fees. I'll be honest, I only took this detour to Varna because I met a beautiful Bulgarian woman who convinced me to go see her there. But when I arrived, she was nowhere to be found. Oh. How are you?
Yeah, alright.
Awesome. What kind of beers do you have on tap here?
So we have Glaros. This is Bulgarian beer, craft beer.
I suppose not every destination is a perfect one. Bulgaria is a nation that has really only been free since the 90s. Ruled by the Byzantiums, Ottomans, and Soviets for most of the country's history. Golden ages were short and few for the Bulgarians, and even in this current period of freedom, its people fight through new hardships. I'm on my way to Veliko Tarnovo. Yeah, nothing else beats this. You can just stand up, right in these rows with the windows down, feel the wind, smell the flora in the hot summer air. With a rapidly aging majority, declining birth rates, and a generation of young people seeking opportunities abroad, Bulgaria's population has been in free fall for 25 years. They've lost a quarter of their people, and every village here is practically a ghost town. There's an enchanting but melancholic feeling traveling across this country, the one I often get when hearing stories about places with fading histories. Getting to the borders of Veliko Tarnovo, I felt in my chest pulsations of this old and forgotten magic. This was the seat of power for the Asen dynasty, the center of Bulgaria's second golden age. Precarious dwellings lined the steep ridges of this mountain fortress town, with the Yantra River's wicked curves cutting into the gorges below. In the middle of this all are the four great Asen rulers, who established their empire by open rebellion against Byzantine at the turn of the 12th century.
I have made it here to the Hikers Hostel in Veliko Tarnovo. Yeah, Veliko Tarnovo. I'm here with my friend Hitoya.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Who's from Japan. He has been traveling himself for 1 year all over the world. We will adventure together. Okay. He's still learning English as well, but so far his English is much better than my Japanese. The hostel is pretty incredible, as you can see. We've got 2 days here, gonna go explore, see what beautiful things we can find. Time for dinner. Haven't had a proper meal in a while, actually. Yeah, just had some pastries on a train. So, proper meal with Hitoya. Are you hungry?
Yes, I'm hungry.
Yeah, ready for food. We are ready to eat. Oh, this is wine kebab with the pork. Looks real delicious. Pickled corn, pickled asparagus. The eating is good, the living is good. What more could you ask for?
It's a traditional Bulgarian wine. His name is Gunza. The year is 2016. It's growing about 40 kilometers from here. People like it.
I mean, it shows though, because the wine's lovely, and you guys have clearly put a lot of effort into like what comes through as well.
So they can understand the color of the wine. All the winemakers, they wear these things.
Yeah, I do have to say I'm incredibly grateful for the Bulgarian hospitality culture. It's blown me away time after time. And Veliko Tarnovo so far has been my absolute favorite place here in Bulgaria. And I hope that you can visit it if you get the chance. Oh, good morning. It is morning 2 at the Hikers Hostel. I'm with my friend Jeremy here.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Who also got up for sunrise. Yeah, respect. I respect people who get up for sunrise. I mean, with this view, how could you not?
Even after extending my stay here by another day, it wasn't close to enough time. Veliko Tarnovo is somewhere I could see myself retiring, or at least spending an entire summer, and I still dream about its ancient stone streets to this day. We had a close-knit crew of strangers here, and we spent the days exploring railroad tunnels and rickety old bridges. Ruins overrun with moss and ivy seem to be in every nook on the forest floor. The trees whisper clues about the countless secrets here. Secrets and culture that was hidden away for only the most loyal of Bulgarians. For this is a country that has been oppressed and subjugated by foreign rule for nearly its entire existence. From the Brothers of the Forest resistance fighters to nameless secret societies that fought just to preserve the Bulgarian language, the roots of this people were forced to dig deep. During the 500 years of Ottoman enslavement, revolts happened often, with one in 1876 resulting in 30,000 massacred Bulgarians. A year later, during the Battle of Shipka Pass, the Ottoman rule was finally broken by a legion of Bulgarian lambs turned lions.
We are back at the hostel after quite a long day of adventuring. About to have a barbecue, hang out with the whole group. Yeah, have a real good time.
Oh, can I have the water? Can I have the water?
45, I want to scream full as your honor. 45. Everybody needs a Muslim for pillow. Everybody needs a Muslim. Everybody needs a Muslim for pillow. Everybody needs a Muslim. Come on, sing along, motherfuckers. Everybody needs a Muslim. Everybody needs a Muslim for pillow. Everybody needs a muzzle. Everybody needs a muzzle for a pillow.
We're fucking high on rakia.
Just cut that part out.
Cut that part out. I definitely will not.
Go fuck yourself.
This is a small glass.
45.
I don't know, like 7.
Clap. Round of applause.
Bulgaria!
2 ways you can support my independent production is by checking out the merch and weekly newsletter on the Earth Story website. Echoes of the imperial communist regime are everywhere in Bulgaria. This place, Buzludzha, was the crowning jewel of the country's idealistic world system. The design of communist monuments is just magnificent to me, even though the system was an enticing lie and resulted in yet more atrocity. The artists and architects of this age had such utopic vision of a shining future. A world of equal cultures, able to enjoy the fruits of their collective labor.
We are here just outside of Veliko Tarnovo, exploring the depths of a waterfall pretty close by.
Communism, like free market democracy on the other end of the world, we have never actually known. The purity of vision was there, but the reality was far more twisted for the desires of the few. This doesn't mean that utopia can't work. It's just a much harder road to pave. But the world I explore today, I do see as a slow birth to a more perfect society. After all, I was exploring these lands with new friends from half a dozen different countries. We were young people sharing resources to go as far as we could. At what other time in history could we do any of this? A wise man told me, utopia is on the horizon. I move 2 steps closer, it moves 2 steps further away. I walk another 10 steps, and the horizon runs 10 steps further. As much as I may walk, I'll never reach it. So what's the point of utopia? The point is this, to keep walking.
Currently, actually I don't know where we are. On the way to Plovdiv. From Veliko Tarnovo, we'll be in Plovdiv in 4 hours, but first, enjoying a delicious bowl of chicken soup in a very, very small local joint.
I think it's bloody delicious. It's nice. It's everything you want in chicken soup. Chicken, noodles, cream.
I've made it here into Hostel Old. This is a building dating back to the Roman Empire. Wow.
Everything here is in Ottoman Empire because 5 years Bulgarian is slaves and officer. With this sword, you take the orders. Maybe attack or maybe shoot.
Jeremy, get me a snack!
It was only Jeremy who followed me to Plovdiv. The rest of the crew split up, and I was left wondering if I'd ever see any of them again. Call it over-sentimentality, but as I explored the beautiful streets here, it was all mixed with this tangible sadness. It's always the people that make travel special. Like local legends that get cast in bronze, you actually live as long as your effects on others. The way you make people feel and the ripples that has on the world, that's your legacy. So when it came time to say goodbye to one of the funniest and fun-loving people I've ever known, I felt that deeply too. I'd really miss Jeremy and his mission to propose to as many people as possible throughout his travels.
So this is beautiful Plovdiv. Only have one day here, and then I'm headed off to Sofia. Yeah, you know, as this whole very long journey comes to an end, Bulgaria has really surprised me. Everywhere I've been to in this place, magic is really the only word to describe it. From Ratinovo Castle, a random guy just decides to build this unbelievable castle with his bare hands, to meeting a stray dog that leads us, you know, through the woods and through gorges, just to the most incredible view we've ever seen. I mean, the family in Veliko Tarnovo, you know, whole group of strangers that came together, and within a day, we all felt like we'd known each other for years. There's some real adventure out here, and I think if you're looking for that, this is a good place to start. Here in the mountain town of Sofia, just passing through. Really beautiful place. I'm going right through the Balkans, which is the main mountain region of Bulgaria. Never ceases to amaze me how kind people are here in Bulgaria. I just never met people more accommodating, hardworking, ingenious, and truly kind and honest, which is amazing. There's a lot of extremely honest people here despite a relative lack of resources, and I think that says a lot about a people and a country.
I made my way slowly to the Bulgarian capital, Sofia, a hub of human activity for over 7,000 years. Many of the Bulgarians I'd met even claimed they were the first peoples, the original children of the forest. The city was named after Sveta Sofia, the mother of wisdom and charity. Statues of her were removed in the communist era as religion was ridiculed and spat on. When the Iron Curtain fell and Bulgaria went into economic freefall, the churches were the only ones keeping the penniless elderly from starving to death. In Sofia, I got a chance to peek back in time and see what an everyday home in the communist era looked like. A place called the Red Flat.
During the communist era, people wouldn't really go out and socialize a lot. So a lot of time was spent at home. being invited into somebody's home during this era was quite a significant step of respect and just welcoming. You couldn't buy a house. You'd have to apply for a house like this, and hopefully the government would give you one.
Bulgaria is very divided on preserving or destroying these kinds of sites. For them, it represents great suffering and shame. And with good reason. The pseudo-communism we saw after World War II was horrific. For those on the side of preservation, they are somber reminders of exploited ideals. It happens on every end of the spectrum, even today. When, I wonder, will that be over?
It's quite fascinating to me that there was this East versus West mentality from what I've been learning. Just that, I mean, it was a competition between two sides of the world. You know, it's what brought the US to the moon, it's what brought the first astronaut, who was Russian, to space. Yeah, it's just interesting to hear stories about the family that lived here, to find out that they're exactly what you'd expect a family in America to be like in the same time period. The items are definitely different, the culture is a bit different, but at the end of the day, we're all exactly the same. Some buffalo yogurt with fresh blueberry jam and a beer. Buffalo yogurt is very thick, very creamy, but super delicious.
Many eras of oppression have defined Bulgaria, but a resilience against overwhelming odds seem to be an inherent trait of its people. I wonder how different this country would have looked if the people were allowed to just govern their own lives. Perhaps that's the bright future this country is moving into now. I can see that spirit in the new waves of art here. It's a redefining of old history, like the monument for the Soviet soldier, now used to show solidarity for the Prague Spring, the massacres in Ukraine, the Russian protest band Pussy Riot, and commentary on the exporting of American culture. This is technically Bulgaria's third golden age, and I hope it is only the beginning. From what little I've seen, I already can't wait to see what new world it turns into. I like 3. It's my favorite number, and I hear that it's a powerful charm.